killing my mom and my sister.
Of the dark.
Giving our children everything that they want makes them demanding and ungrateful and not learn how to be self-controlled, obey boundaries and limitations. Do you believe in that? Comment down below your thoughts. Parenting in a lot of ways display how we discipline our children, and it's rather difficult, especially with the teenage youth in today's world. The prosecution charged the now 11-year-old boy in Milwaukee, Wisconsin with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of his 44-year-old mother, Quiana Mann, at their home near 87th and Hemlock last November 21st, 2022. The boy allegedly unlocked the gun from his mother's locked safe at around 7 a.m. the same day. He reportedly confessed to detectives that he was angry at his mother for waking him up 30 minutes earlier and not allowing him to purchase the Oculus virtual reality headset from Amazon. He pointed the gun at his mother and only wanted to shoot the wall to scare her, but she walked in front of him and he shot his mother in the eye. He reportedly purchased the game using his mother's account after she died. The complaint added that the boy attempted to conceal the weapon before informing his older sister that their mother had died. The sister called 911, and the investigation went on. The boy's attorney expressed doubts that he could advocate for himself in his defense, per law and crime. However, the judge decided that he was ready to face trial as an adult, starting that the boy had no major mental diagnosis, per the outlet. Now the boy remains locked up in a juvenile detention center and is exactly where his aunt and grandmother say he belongs to, who's heartbroken and devastated over the horrifying incident in their family that they never expectedly imagined could happen. Well, I think it's safe to say that being a parent is greatly a challenging part of life and not perfect, especially on how we discipline them. But disciplining our children is our amazing way to love and care, teaching them being responsible for their behavior and self-control. Also teaching them about consequences and taking responsibility for their own actions. Losing a mother is very detrimental. It takes years to overcome the impact of what's gone. But it'd be more painful to a family if the mother was betrayed and snuffed away by their own son that she gave a good life to the best way she could. Can a son kill his mother? What happened that day? Why did he kill his mother, Ruth Pine? Well, these are many questions that have been bothering us for years now. The Pine family of Highland, Michigan seemed to be a perfect picture family. Bernie and Ruth had been married most of their adult lives and had 2 children, a son and a daughter. Jeffrey, their son, had been valedictorian of his high school class and was attending the University of Michigan studying biology. Julia was 10 years younger than her brother and an average happy grade school student. Ruth Pine was a homemaker, dedicated and loving mother. She enjoyed crafting, crocheting, and spending time with her family around the time of Julia's birth. However, Bernie Pine noticed some strange things about his wife. She was becoming paranoid and later found out Ruth Pine was diagnosed with being both bipolar and paranoid schizophrenia. She was treated with medications and responded well, but unfortunately, she was not always consistent at taking those medications, and that's what made things worse. Prosecutors claimed Jeffrey was known to have a temperamental relationship with his mother, who suffered from several mental illnesses and had spent 2 weeks in jail 9 months before her death for attempting to strangle Jeffrey, and that made him started hating her. On May 27, 2011, Ruth Pine was found brutally dead in their home garage covered in blood and allegedly had been beaten to death and stabbed in her neck 16 times that led to her death. The crime scene was brutal. The Pine family was shattered after the murder. The dark secrets of the Pine family would come to light, and the world would come to understand that this family was broken. Authorities gave Bernie Pine a lie detector test, which he passed. The investigation went on and turned to Jeffrey Pine, later found guilty of the killings. When depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, or any other mental illnesses enter a family, the emotional cost can be high, and family members could be deeply affected, and this could be traumatizing if it goes the way of this horrifying episode in life. It shows us that if we experience this, it's definitely fine to ask help from the good qualified people for a lending hand. Or, if one of our family members is suffering with this kind of problem, we need to help them, care, and love until all is defeated or control of this illness. Jeffrey Pine's appeal in 2015 was denied. He remains incarcerated at Lonia Correctional Facility in Michigan. He is not eligible for release until 2031, but could remain in prison until 2071. This case has been controversial. He had been charged with first-degree murder, but the unanimous jury found him guilty of the lesser second-degree murder charge. Mental health is a vital aspect of our overall well-being, yet it is often overlooked or is stigmatized. Without good mental health, it can be difficult to manage daily stresses or challenges, which can lead to negative consequences in all areas of life. Did you hear about the terrible act committed by Bashid McLean? This incident, which occurred years ago, continues to haunt us with its horrifying images circulating relentlessly on social media platforms. Now, we're going to find out together about this heinous crime. This happened February 26, 2013, Bronx, New York. The Bronx community was rocked by a gruesome and horrifying crime that would forever change their lives of those that were involved. Bashid McLean, a resident of the Bronx, gained infamy for the murder of his own mother, Tanya Bird. This tragic incident not only shocked the community, but also raised questions about the motive and mental state of the individual involved. The life of Tanya Bird, 45, a loving mother, came to a horrifying and untimely end. Bashid McLean, 23 at the time, her own son, was responsible for her brutal murder. The details of this crime are nothing short of disturbing, as Bashid stabbed her multiple times and used a power saw to dismember his mother's body, posing for photographs with her severed head. Bashid McLean is said to have used a smartphone to photograph himself holding his mother's head like a trophy in front of a bathroom mirror, according to the New York Post. Before the grisly photographs were allegedly taken, McLean and a friend, William Harris, 26, are said to have dissected the body by a power saw, and both men have reportedly admitted of disposing her remains in different places and bins in a Bronx neighborhood. After a horrified dog walker discovered the human remains in a garbage bag at around 4:30 a.m. and called the police, the torso found on Eagle near 158th Street, head found on Caldwell near 158th Street, and the right leg found on Eagle near 156th Street. Medical examiners determined that Bird died from a stab wound to the neck and officially ruled her death a homicide. McLean and his friend William Harris were first arrested on charges of unlawfully dissecting a human body and hindering prosecution. Authorities said each man initially implicated the other in the killing. The trial that ensued was a complex and emotional roller coaster, with the defense arguing that Bashid's mental health should be considered in his case. However, the prosecution presented overwhelming evidence that pointed to Bashid as the sole perpetrator of this heinous crime, leading to his eventual conviction. The murder charge was later added for McLean. This case serves as a reminder of how we should have to strive to create a system that not only seeks justice, but also provides an early intervention, support, and rehabilitation for individuals struggling with mental health issues. Only then, we hope to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Good evening, everyone. This is Yuri K, and this is the end of the video. Please leave a comment and let us know your opinions on the matter. If you happen to like this content, please check out our other videos. Make sure you like and share amongst your friends and family to help our community grow. You happen to be new to this channel? Please make sure you subscribe. It's free, and you can always change it in the future. You have some terrifying story suggestions? If so, make sure that you send it to my email, fearofthedarkstories@gmail.com, and I'll feature it in a future segment. But you guys stay safe out there, and remember to always be afraid of the dark.